All right, now if any of you watched previous videos, you probably recall me telling him to find a tractor that was made in this century. Well, he took me literally, and he bought a tractor that I hope will satisfy all of his needs. He can give you the details. You are probably asking yourself, how did he talk her into this? Well, when he started looking for tractors in every state in the Union, he would spend over an hour every day looking, and he would say, hey, how do you feel about going to blah, 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 Pennsylvania to pick up blah, blah, blah? And I realized that he would just be looking at and picking up more tractors that didn't and wouldn't do what he wanted it to do. So this is the tractor to solve that problem. Now, my problem is to convince him to rehome the tractors that he already has. So I thought maybe I can get little sad eyes and put them on the tractors. Or chain two tractors together and they can go as a bonded pair.
How did you get my camera?
So, and if you use this all the time, then you'll realize that the other tractors, you don't need them, right?
Yeah, I'll sell one.
One? Yes. All right. Here, you can take it over and explain. Oh, and if you notice, there is still something missing from this picture. It begins with a GR and ends and rhymes with apple. Still not one of those.
Well, we got to unbuckle and unload this guy here. In my state, I don't know exactly what the regulations are, but if you're hauling commercially, I understand that you're supposed to have a binder for each wheel. And that's what I try to do unless it's a tricycle tractor. And also you're supposed to have a separate hold down, tie down strap or whatever for individual implements. So I use this strap going through the center to satisfy for the loader. But if this had a backhoe, we'd have to have a strap on the backhoe too.
All right, this is the unloading, not the unboxing, but the unloading.
I'm not sure I know how to start it.
Yeah, look for the key. It looks so much bigger than it did when it was sitting in the yard with all those other tractors.
I gotta find the seat adjustment and everything.
It has an adjustable seat?
I'm sure it is.
Really? Factory air. Just kidding. Cold in the winter and heat in the summer. I'm sure it's going to be a while before I drive this.
Well, that's gonna take some getting used to.
Really?
Well, yeah, it's just a little bit bigger than the other ones.
Yeah. But it has power steering?
Oh yeah. It's got everything. Got everything except a backup camera for you.
It needs a backup camera. Or at least a mirror.
Well, that was uneventful.
I know. You're going to, like, wax it daily?
Oh, no, that's your job.
Oh, I'm not waxing it.
That's a pretty good tractor.
It is a nice tractor. Well, yeah, you picked it out. You better be happy.
Yeah. This is not too bad.
Now, you've got what in the tires?
They're fluid filled.
Just the back tires?
Yeah, just the back tires. Yeah, just the back tires.
Now, what kind of fluid did he put in there?
I can't remember what he said. Methyl something or other.
Sodium?
No. It's not sodium. It's not it's not a rusty stuff like the old calcium.
Okay.
I
But
forgot what it is. Some kind of an alcohol based in water.
Okay. Now, are they filled all the way up with fluid?
No, they're probably, if you could see inside, they're probably, whenever we filled our tires, we'd always fill them about like this right here.
Well, you don't feel them sloshing when you drive it?
Not really.
It doesn't
Not really.
doesn't slosh?
Well, no, because it's just kind of continuously in
Rolling?
Yeah. But no, if you fill them all the way up, then you might freeze and do some damage to
Okay.
something, you know.
Now, but if you hit something and you have a leak, then the
Then
fluid...
you got a problem.
So make sure the leak is on top so it doesn't drip out.
Well, you have to get it home quick and then get a jack under it and get it up, and then get your leak up on top.
Okay.
And once your pressure is vented out, the water will just stay in it as long as you have the leak up above the water level.
Okay.
And I honestly do not know what level they fill them to. I just
Oh,
don't
okay.
know.
So these are pressurized because you put air in them.
Yes,
They're
uh-huh.
pressure to a certain.
Yep.
Okay, but you don't know how much.
No, I have no idea how many gallons.
Okay.
He couldn't give me an exact number, but he said it would add about 600 pounds on each wheel, is what he said.
Okay.
So I have to calculate that out because it's a little heavier than water with that additive. So you can figure, 8.5 or 8 3/4 pounds per gallon. So just divides, 600 by 8.5, and you're going to get a rough idea of how many gallons is in each tire.
But the front tires just have regular air.
Yeah, just front tires are just air.
All right.
Yep. Okay.
Now you said that because of the loader bucket, you're going to have to put weights on the back to keep it balanced.
Yeah, and that's part of the reason why you want your fluid in your tires is because that acts as a counterweight to what you're picking up with the loader bucket. But what we'll do is we'll add additional counterweight to the 3-point in the back end. We'll make some kind of a ballast box.
Okay.
Some guys literally build a box and fill it full of stuff and carry the box around and then unhook it and just let it set and then go back to business when they're using their normal implements, then go back when they're using their loader and hook onto the box. Some guys leave their bush hog on the back, some guys use a box blade on the back, anything to add weight to the back end in addition to what you have in the tires to counter what you're doing whenever you pick stuff up.
Because it could, like, the front would pop up.
Well, no, the front wouldn't pop up, but what happens, the higher you raise your loader with the load in it, your center of balance continuously changes. So your tip over point, as the higher you get your load, the tip over point is elevated. So by having the counterweight on the back, okay, you slow, your tip over point will still be elevated, but it'll lower the tendency to turn over. There's more ballast down here, so it has to go higher to get to a tip over point.
But it wouldn't tip over sideways, would it?
Well, the tractor can. If you're on a hillside, you can literally
Okay,
turn over
okay.
sideways. That's why you always want to, on these guys here, you always want to have your roll bar up. They
Right.
call it a ROPS, rollover protection system. And then you always want to wear your seat belt and stuff on
It
these
has
guys
a
here.
seat belt?
It's got a seat belt.
You're kidding. Wow.
And this here will pop loose right here. You pull this pin, that'll hinge down so you can get in standard doorways and stuff, Because with
Okay.
a high like that, with an 8-foot door, it may go under an 8-foot door, but it might not too.
Okay.
I don't know. Hey, man,
The seats look really good.
you what?
The seats look padded, nice.
Oh, yeah. As if I ain't got enough padding.
Okay.
So,
And
yeah.
you just have two pedals, a forward, backward, and brake?
Yeah, forward, backwards, and they got the left and right brake on the left-hand side on this particular one. I don't know why they changed it, but the forward and reverse is over there, just like always.
And the
also
brake is on the other side?
Differential lock, and then the four-wheel drive or front-wheel assist, is on this side, and then this is the left and right individual brake on the left side.
All right. So now, do tractors have speeds, like slow speed, road speed?
Yeah, it's got low, medium, and high, 3 range hydrostat. Low, medium, high. And what some guys like to refer to L as in loader, you use that in loader mode because it's slow, okay, because you're hydraulically driven. So you use L for loader, M for mower, because a lot of people use a bush hog behind them or a belly mower underneath them, and they use the M for the mower speed, and then H for highway. So they call it loader, mower, highway for low, medium, and high.
Okay. But you're not going to get a mower. This will
No,
never
I don't
mow.
need no- I don't need
But
mower.
the grapple thing, because the grapple doesn't work like a loader, it has those little teethy things that move, right?
Yeah, we're going to put a grapple on it.
Okay, so, but that stick thing on the side there will control your grapple too?
Well, yes and no.
All
I
right.
have to have an accessory that I've got to install called a third function valve.
Okay.
I have to add a third function valve to the little
Sticky.
joystick,
Okay, this is a
so
joystick.
that you actually can energize and use the grapple component.
So it will like snap onto it, or?
Yeah, you actually replace the lever on top, the knob that's
Oh.
on top, with another one that's got a little electric button in, and you have to have raw power from somewhere on the tractor that gets hot when you turn the key on. And what that'll do, there's 2 different types of them. One of them diverts oil out of the oil circuit that curls and dumps the bucket.
Yeah.
And the other one will actually it'll take all of the oil and use all of the oil for one function or the other whenever you push your button. So what I'm probably going to do is use the diverting one, because the diverting valve, as I understand, is going to mount underneath and is much more protected back here on the other side of the tractor. It's much more protected off of the actual hydraulic pump on that side of the tractor.
Now, is this a diesel, or is
Oh,
this?
yeah.
Oh, it is.
Yeah,
Okay.
diesel.
All right.
Yeah, but it doesn't have diesel exhaust fluid.
Okay.
Yeah, diesel exhaust fluid is that stuff you have to put in It's crazy on the new diesel vehicles and everything, and the larger tractors, 75 horsepower and bigger, all has the diesel exhaust fluid. It goes into a regeneration mode, and it does something with this, some kind of urine mixture
Yeah.
that actually makes it stink and
Disgusting.
all that stuff, but actually cleans the filtering system, I guess. I really don't know. But this guy here, it'll go into a regeneration mode, but all you have to do is just keep it running pretty close to wide open throttle, and what it'll do is it'll actually clear the exhaust filter and not destroy it, very, very quick. If you do that periodically, there'll be an indicator on the dash. I think there's like some little clouds or some little puffs that'll indicate on the dash when it notices a restriction.
that tells you.
Or maybe it's based on hours. I don't know.
All right.
But there's some point that's going to indicate that it needs to go into regen mode, and it'll actually go into it automatically while you're using it. Now, the guy just now told me, he said, when you see it go into regen mode, keep on using it. Just give her the throttle and just keep on using it. He said, if you accidentally goes into regen mode about the time you go in for lunch, he said, don't shut it off. Just let it sit there, wide open throttle, go have your lunch, 15, 20 minutes later, come back out. It'll be fully regenerated, and you can go back to using it as normal. Does that make sense?
Yes, yes. I mean, I'm sure it's in the manual.
Yeah, I'm hoping it's in the manual.
Right. Okay, so there's no pistons, no spark plugs.
There's pistons, but there ain't no spark plug.
Okay, they're pistons. So how many pistons? Those are like compression chambers?
Yeah, that's a very good point. I don't even know if it's a 3-cylinder or 4-cylinder.
So we'll have to open it up and look and count them?
Guess we will.
Okay.
That's a good question. I don't even know. I'm going to assume it's a 4-banger.
4. It sounded like it was 4, but
Yeah, it's hard to tell.
it didn't sound like 2. It sounded like.
No, it's not going to be 2.
I doubt if it's 6.
Oh, no, it ain't going to be 6.
So that kind of leaves 4.
Yeah, 3 or 4.
3 or 4? They would do 3?
There could be 3. The smaller capacities have 3. My little 3030 is actually a 4-cylinder.
Yeah.
But then the B2400, the B7100, those are all 3-cylinders.
Okay.
But those are much smaller engines.
But they're
Little
compression
B-
chambers.
Huh?
They're compression chambers.
Yeah,
Yeah.
compression chambers, pistons, cylinders.
They still call them piston cylinders?
Well, they're cylinders, and the pistons are inside the cylinders.
Okay.
The pistons has rings around them and everything.
I know, I've seen those.
Yeah.
Yeah. You don't want to mess with those.
Well, if we have to.
No, we don't have to.
Not on something like this.
No.
Okay, hey.
Okay.
Is that about it?
I have no more questions right now. I just really am enjoying it having paint.
Well, you know what?
What?
This is the best day of the rest of its life because it ain't never going to look this clean again.
You're probably right.
Oh, there's no doubt about it.
Definitely. Okay.
I know whenever you get on, you have a tendency to get them dirty.
It's going to be a while before you're going to let me get on this. Other than to sit there and look at it.
I was talking to a salesman while you were out looking at lawnmowers.
Okay, yeah.
We talked about making a his and her deal where I'd bring 2 of these home.
Not 2 of these tractors.
Yeah, 2 of these.
No,
One for me
no.
and one for you.
I know. The lawnmower deal we could do.
Okay.
All right.
Is that it?
That's it.
Okay. I'm going to go put this away for right now.
All right. So you're out of here? Not yet?
Well, I don't know if I'm out of here yet or not.
Okay. All right. I am. Bye.